Hey, what's poppin', y'all? It's Caleb from Team Tempo, aka Lil Baby K, coming at you with our newest episode, newest series of
Secret Sauce Sunday.
Secret Sauce Sunday is our newest series where we're going to take a secret sauce that we know about or maybe that everybody else knows about, and we're just going to give you a couple of quick tips, some niche situations, some applications for the card, and just a couple of other things. So, welcome to Secret Sauce Sunday, baby. What we're going to be talking about today is going to be a card that's called Metaltronus. Came out recently in Legacy of Destruction. It's a spell card quick play that reads target one face-up non-token monster your opponent controls. That's the cost of the card. Special summon one monster from your hand, deck, or extra deck that has two or more of the same type, attribute, and/or attack, but negate its effects. And if you do, negate that targeted monster's effects. Also, after that, if these monsters have the same name, you can banish both face down. Your opponent cannot activate the targeted monster's effects in response to this card's activation, and you can only activate one Metaltronus per turn. So it's a really great card. Most people, when they think of this card, they think of, oh, it's amazing in the mirror. You know, it does so much in the mirror, which is very true. It definitely does a lot in the mirror. You're able to get rid of a card that your opponent controls at the cost of getting rid of one from your deck, which most of the time, if it's a card that's important, you're going to be playing three of it at least. So not a huge deal. And it is also a quick play, and it's also the monster that you target can't respond to it. So that's a really interesting effect to have there because if you're going against something that negates, they're not going to be able to respond to that. So uh, we're just going to give you a couple cool examples of Metaltronus here, different ways that you can play it, different scenarios where it's really good, and we're going to apply it a little bit to the format today as well. So, speaking of the format today, the most applicable version that you're going to see of Metaltronus is in the Snake Eye Mirror. So Snake Eye is obviously a very good deck right now, and whether you're playing the deck yourself or you're just playing a version of it or an engine, it's really going to be applicable for you. So when your opponent normal summons Snake Eye Ash, you activate Metaltronus targeting that Ash. Now you are going to have a couple of different options depending on the deck, but most likely you're going to special summon your own Snake Eye Ash. And then since they both have the same name, you are going to be able to banish both of them face down. Keep in mind I'm on Dueling Book solo mode, so the other one would go to your opponent's face down, but it's a really nice option because it is going to allow you to basically target that Snake Eye Ash, negate its effect. So it's going to be similar to Imperm, but it's going to be better to Imperm because since you are playing the mirror, you're going to be able to get rid of the body as well by banishing it face down, which is really nice because Snake Eye Oak is not going to be able to get it back in any way, shape, or form. And you are obviously using one from your own deck, which does come up, but it's not super important by any means because you are playing extra copies, and you most likely have a way to it as well. So it's really nice, gets rid of the body, negates the effect, not going to be able to activate its other effect as well. So just a really nice option. Yeah, this is going to be really important in basically just about every mirror match that you have. You're going to be able to target your opponent's monster and then special summon the same one from your extra deck, and it's always going to get rid of the body. It's always going to banish it face down, making it hard to get back or nearly impossible. And then it's always going to negate the effect as well at just the cost of banishing one of your own face down, which, like I said before, is never really going to come up since you play multiple copies of an important card like that. So you can apply the Snake Eye Ash example to just about any card in the mirror match, something that you want to be able to negate but also get rid of the body. So just keep that in mind. But now we're going to go over a couple of niche examples if you're playing like a certain type of deck or certain cards. So here's the first one. And in this scenario, our opponent controls a Jizukiru that we special summon to their field by tributing a monster they control. Alright, so what we're going to want to do is going to activate Metaltronus targeting the Jizukiru. Now, Jizukiru is a light machine monster, so from our extra deck, we're going to be able to special summon out Cyber Dragon Nova. Now, Nova, it's not going to be able to activate its effects, but it doesn't matter because we're ranking up into Infinity. Infinity is able to activate its effect to attach a attack position monster on the field to it, and it's also an Omni-Negate by detaching as well. So, nice little interaction with light machine monsters there, which is a relatively popular attribute and typing there, so pretty cool. Another pretty interesting one with another kaiju using Gameciel this time is that we're going to be able to go ahead and activate that Metaltronus. We're going to target the Gameciel, and then we're going to be able to special summon from our extra deck a Nash Knight. So Nash Knight is going to allow us to actually rank up into the C Nash Knight, which is going to allow us to detach a material to special summon any extra deck monster from 101 to 107. So in this case, usually the best option is going to be C107, which can activate its effect, detach, and it negates all cards on the field, as well as your opponent cannot activate cards on the field for the rest of the turn as well. So it's a pretty busted effect, and it's on a big 4500 beat stick, but there's other options, as you can see here. We have the 101 through the 107 of the normal monsters, and then we also have their C counterparts, so the C101 through C107. So the Nash Knight really just gives us a lot of options to go into, so it's definitely a really nice option for the Metaltronus. And another thing that we're going to be able to do is when we Ken and Gen somebody, we're going to be able to go ahead and activate that Metaltronus, and we can target the Ken or the Gen, doesn't really matter. They're both light warriors, so that's important because we're going to be able to special summon from our extra deck a number F0 Utopic Future, and then obviously its effects are negated because of Metaltronus, but we're going to be able to rank that up into a Utopic Draco Future, which is obviously a really great card. It's got a monster negate that's also able to take control of it if that monster's face up on your opponent's field. Can't be destroyed by battle or card effects, so pretty solid. Another really nice option for like the rank up Xyz cards are if you're able to get out any rank 3 or 4 option, you are able to get out the Xyz Armor Fortress, which searches you any armored Xyz card. So if you're playing something along the lines of like Goblin Bikers, any Xyz deck, or anything that can benefit from the armored Xyz cards, it's definitely a really nice option to have. Maybe something to side deck, and then obviously if you're already playing those cards, it fits really well. You're able to get into your engines another way, which is never a bad thing. A really cool tech that our buddy Topher showed us, shout out Topher, check out his video on our channel if you haven't seen it already, is when you are facing down an Apollousa, you are actually able to activate that Metaltronus targeting the Apollousa. That is going to negate the Apollousa, so you don't have to worry about that. And then you can summon your own Apollousa if you're playing it. So most of the time you're probably going to want to end up banishing face down, but in this case actually you are going to just leave the Apollousa and they're both going to be negated, and then you can actually link off that Apollousa into a Zealantis. So you are using the Metaltronus as a negate, basically an imperm, as well as getting you a free body that turns into some form of interaction. And this segues perfectly into our next reason as to why Metaltronus is a really good tech choice. Metaltronus is also going to act as a pseudo Ghost Reaper and Winter Cherries as well for the extra deck. If you're playing like a lot of generic extra deck monsters, or if you don't really use the extra deck as much and have space for options, it can be very good into like an IP, an SP, an Apollousa, Colossus if you're facing like a lot of Colossus decks, or engines as well. So it's definitely something to keep in mind as well, that it is able to obviously use the one from your extra deck to banish both of them face down, but it also negates it, so it really just gets rid of a problem card that you might be facing down when you're going into a board. So all in all, Metaltronus really does have a lot of utility and a lot of different options and ways that it can be used. Most generically, you're most likely going to see it in mirror matches or in formats where there's one deck that is kind of topping over everything else, similar to the one that we're in right now with Snake Eye. It is a card that is basically target negation that also is able to interact with your opponent by getting rid of a body, giving you bodies that you're able to use to combo off, and just a lot of different options. So thanks for watching, guys. We really appreciate it. We're going to try to do these every single week with different cards. Some might be a little bit more generic, some might be a little bit more niche and far out, and we're kind of reaching. But if you have any other tech choices that you want to see, or any other options with Metaltronus that we might not have thought about, or something that you want to share, please definitely make sure to leave it in the comments. And as always, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. We're really going to try to put out more stuff here in the near future. So thanks again for watching. Caleb from Team Tempo, signing off.